Welcome to the sixth and final unit of the Setting Up My First Scenario course. In this unit, we'll bring everything together and dive into the concept of mapping items. By the end of this session, you'll know how to take information from one module and place it exactly where you want it in another module. Make sure you have your Make Foundation use case open, as we'll be adding more to it on this video. By now, you should have only two modules connected in your scenario: the weather module with the Get Current Weather action, and the Google Sheets module with the Add a Row action. If this doesn't sound familiar, or if you haven't set this up, go back and watch the previous videos to get everything in place. If you've added or copied any other modules while testing or playing around with connecting modules, take a moment to now delete them. We want to keep things simple and focus on just these two modules for this video on mapping. Now, what is mapping? Mapping is like giving directions to make. Imagine you're taking a piece of information from one module, say the description of the weather from the weather app, and you want to place it neatly into the first row of your spreadsheet. Mapping is the process of drawing that route from point A to point B. Think of it like plotting a journey on a map. You have a starting point and a destination, and mapping helps you get there. Let's break this down into parts so you can follow along at your own pace. The first part is identifying the items you can map. On the weather app, right click and select Run this module only. This module is your source and it's going to generate a bundle of information for you. Once you click Run this module once, you'll notice a thought bubble with a 1 up here next to weather. This indicates two things. One, you've consumed a single operation. And two, you've generated at least one bundle. Scroll over it and click the search icon to see what's inside the bundle. You'll see two sets of information here. You'll see one, the input bundle. This might look familiar. It shows you the configurations you entered into the weather module, like the city name. Then you have the output bundle. This contains the items you can map to the next module. Some items will have a plus sign next to them, indicating they are collections or arrays, meaning there are multiple items you can map. We'll dive deeper into collections and arrays later on. Click the plus sign next to coordinates and wind to explore what other items are available for mapping. Now on to the next task, where to map your items. Now that you know you can map from the weather module, let's figure out where to map them in your target module. If you have your Google Sheet scenario from the Make Foundation open, that's great. If not, open it now for this exercise. Open the Google Sheets Add a Row module. This will load the configuration page. Scroll down to Values, and you'll see fields labeled A, B, C, etc. These correspond to columns in your Google Sheet. Click the text field labeled A, and you'll see the fields you can map. Do these look familiar? They should. These are the items from your bundle, the real data you generated. You can select one or many of these items, and it will process that information into row A of your Google Sheet. Now, to complete this exercise, you'll map 4 different items into your Google Sheet. For row A, select sunrise. For row B, select temperature. For row C, select status. And for row D, select description. Then click OK. Now, before we run this automation, let's take a quick detour. Reopen the Google Sheets module and hover over any items in your bundle on row A. Notice something? The weather app starts to pulsate. This is a visual cue that is incredibly useful, especially if you start building more complex scenarios with multiple modules and different data sources. It shows you exactly where the source of your mapped item is coming from, which can be a lifesaver in larger projects. Congratulations! Now you're ready to run your first automation. It might be helpful to have your Google Sheets open in another tab or screen to see the magic happen. Once you have them both open, click the Run Once button and look at your Google Sheet. You'll see it now has content. This is the data you mapped from the weather app. Congratulations, you've just run your first scenario. This wraps up Unit 6 of setting up my first scenario. You now know how to map items within your scenario. To test your knowledge, head over to academy.make.com and take the Setting Up Your Scenario quiz at the end of the course. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more automation tips. Happy automating, and we'll see you in the next course. Thanks for watching.